I obviously as the president of the Lighthouse Club. And for those of you who are not familiar with Lighthouse Club, I'm going to give you a very brief history lesson about the club. I'm going to share with you what we do and what we've been doing over the last couple of years. And most importantly, this morning, I'm going to share with you our plan to address some of the issues and the outcome of the MCO caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. So the Lighthouse Club started in the UK. It actually started in 1956, many years ago, in a place called Whitley Bay, which is actually near Newcastle on the northeast coast of the UK. And there was an event taking place in that area, and a group of like-minded individuals were having a social gathering, and they decided that they should create a club to maintain that momentum. And they created the Lighthouse Club, and the name the Lighthouse Club comes from St. Mary's Lighthouse in Whitley Bay. The Lighthouse Club started in the UK, but with all these clubs and with the nature of the industry that we all work in, some of the members started to move further afield. And in the 80s and 90s, some of those members started moving to places like Hong Kong and Singapore and other places. And in the early 90s, there was quite a few living and working in Malaysia. When in 1994, in September, when we created the Lighthouse Club branch, and to give you a sense of time, that was around the time that they were building the Petronas Towers. 25 years ago since the Lighthouse Club has been active in Malaysia, and we've been active every year since then. So our mission is first and foremost to create a community within the construction industry of like-minded professionals. We have engineers, we have lawyers, we have architects, we have construction managers, we have financial people, surveyors. We have a great and broad group of people. We organize events to accumulate and raise funds, and those funds are used to provide financial aid to people in need in the construction industry and their families. In Malaysia, up until recently, we have been focusing on the education sector. So we've been helping people to actually fund their education. And we help people who would, for most cases, be unable to actually provide their money for their education. So we help people who wouldn't get a chance to get an education in industry and get them into the construction industry. Now, all of this is designed to have fun and create some sense of belonging to a community. So to show you how we do the support of the students, we work closely with master builders, and every year we award a scholarship to 2 new students on a yearly basis. So on any one year, we're supporting 7 to 8 students in education in Malaysia. It's not a huge number, but it's still a contribution, and it does make a difference. So here you can see the presentation of the scholarship awards, and we do this with support from master builders, and they have their own scholarship fund where they actually also support a number of students. So how do we raise funds? Well, we have a number of ways of doing it. So this is a picture from the annual golf day from last year. This particular event, we had about 50 people coming out to play, and we raise funds through the green fees, we raise funds through the sponsorship by corporations and from raffle prizes. And we also do a general collection where people are asked just to give generously to the club. So these are the kind of events that we raise. We had a conference last year to celebrate our 25 years in Malaysia, and we have a conference every year. We're not quite sure how we're going to accommodate that this year, but we will wait and see. Last year we had about 200 participants for a one-day seminar at the AIC. And again, those events are used to raise awareness about safety in the industry and also to raise awareness about the club, but most importantly to raise funds for our charitable causes. And if you're celebrating 25 years, well, you have to have a party. So we threw a big party last year. A huge number of people turned out. We had a great night, and it was a big celebration. So one of the things that most people will be aware of at the Lighthouse Club is we have our monthly get-togethers. We have them on the first Thursday of every month. This is a picture from our Chinese New Year gathering. So again, first Thursday of every month, we have a social gathering where people come along, catch up and see each other and see what's going on. We have, at our committee, decided upon the best way that we can actually contribute to the current situation in Malaysia in regards to the impact of the MCO, which has been caused by COVID-19. So we've identified 3 particular ways that we can help. The first one is there are a number of construction workers and their families who are in need of essential food in terms of rice, milk powder, lentils, and we're aware of thousands of cases of people who are in need of support. So we're reaching out to organizations, associations, individuals, supervisors, whoever we can find, and we will give them 1,000 ringgit to support the purchase of absolute necessities in terms of rice, lentils, soy, salt. So we've done some work over the last couple of days and supported a couple of cases, and 1,000 ringgit will buy 55 to 60 bags of rice and 50 bags of lentils. So with the funds that we've raised so far from our very generous sponsors, the 20,000 ringgit, we know we can support about 1,000 families. Another way of looking at this is it costs about 6 ringgit to 8 ringgit per day per worker to provide them with basic food. We're going to basically take the money that we're raising through this campaign and we're going to distribute it as far and as wide as we can and try and help as many families as we possibly can. We're also available to provide financial support to people who have fallen on financial difficulties. So if you know of families who are in financial dire straits, they may apply to the Lighthouse Club, and where possible we will donate a small amount to each family. And last but certainly not least, through our education program, we are also going to be giving a financial donation to the students' families to get them through these tough times. So these are the three main things that we're working on and that we're looking forward to actually rolling out. This is what we've come up with as our campaign for fundraising to support our campaign for distributing money to those people in need. We've identified 3 levels of sponsorship. You can be a big-hearted boss for 500 ringgit, you can be a merciful director for 1,000, and you can step up to the plate to be a chief empathy officer for 5,000 ringgit. In order to make a contribution, you can get in touch with any of the committee members, and they will provide you with the necessary links to actually download the banking forms, or you can simply WhatsApp me. My number is in every one of the slides. I want to make a very special recognition of all the members of the committee who have stepped up to the plate. Our committee is made up of a small group of people who have put a lot of work in over the last week. So I'd like to thank Bert, our secretary, Cindy, our incoming secretary, Poi Mun, our treasurer, Hung Kit, and Trisha, and of course Daniel. So thank you very much to our committee for making this possible. Now I'd like to make it very clear that if you don't feel comfortable making such a large donation, all small donations will be welcome. Don't forget, it takes 6 to 8 ringgit to feed one person for one day. So even if you can spare 20 ringgit or 50 ringgit, all of those contributions will be very, very welcome.